Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, I'm playing Vintage Cube. Comes out on Magic Online every 6 months or so, and I got to do a couple every time. This video is requested by subscriber Femi. Femi is a cube head IRL, keeps the Vintage Cube built and updated himself in paper, and wants me to play a couple of these, so there's going to be one this week and one next week. Just in case you don't know what this is, Cube is a curated limited format where you pick what cards you can draft and then make them into random packs and then draft them. Vintage Cube is fully powered, Moxen, Black Lotus, Time Walk, etc. This is the most broken, curated, limited format, and it's very popular on Magic Online and in real life, and I'm going to try one right now. And we're in here in Pack 1. I don't play a lot of Cube, and I do tend to favor cards from a constructed mindset, which invariably leads to some public roasting in the comments every time I'm asked to do this, but I am learning. I am getting better. Coma is a huge payoff for cheating stuff into play strategies. Mind Twist, for me, it's between Mind Twist and Gitaxian Probe. I love a dual land. I like Snapcaster Mage. Mind Twist could be in combo, could be in control, could be in mid-range. Any kind of ramp pays off Mind Twist, and ramp is what I want in Vintage Cube anyway. I guess instead of ramp, I should say fast mana. Like, I want Moxen and stuff, and Signets, not necessarily like rampant growth, but it's all good. Back to, we've got the Choop and Recurring Nightmare both go well together if I wield a Choop and Recurring Nightmare. It's also on color. Bloodstained Mire is an on-color fetch land that could help splash Mind Twist into anything I end up playing. Nightmare is the type of card that's insanely powerful, but we might not play it if we take it this early. I think I want to just start respecting my mana base here. Noble Hierarch is mana acceleration. It goes into various archetypes that I like. Swords to Plowshares. I do like interaction a lot in a cube. That's a mistake that I've made in the past of just building the most powerful deck than dying to a single counterspell. And I'd rather be the one with counterspell in my deck this time around. Blood Crypt goes with Bloodstained Mire. That's a fetchable black source, or a fetchable red source if I end up splashing either. Indotha Triome is also a fetchable plains or forest to go with this Bloodstained Mire. I think I actually want the Triome here. Here's another mana dork. We just passed one. So 2 dorks have been passed and Coma. Kind of shipping the dork deck. I'm nowhere near Mishra's Workshop. Talancron can do some busted stuff. Shallow Grave could start moving towards Reanimator. Lily the Last Hope is a black card that has some creature value synergy. I currently have no creatures, but it's pick 4. Anything could happen. Norn is a hell of a reanimation target, so I have like one of the worst reanimation spells and a great thing to reanimate here. I think I'm going to take Shallow Grave on spec. There are more monsters than there are reanimation spells in the cube, so I'd rather get a spell while we're at it. Bayou is fetchable green, but I already have fetchable green. Bitter Blossom's dope. Custodial Lich, becoming the Monarch and killing a thing. Grave Titan is both castable and worth reanimating, but kinda so is Custodial Lich. I feel like this is one that I'm likely to get roasted for, but Lich seems friggin' sick. You get to be the Monarch, and you get to edict your opponent, and you get a 4/2 creature, all at a castable rate. Give it to me. Okay, here I can get blue on the splash from my fetch land, or I can take Inquisition of Kozilek, which that cheap interaction stuff is something I'm interested in. Rona is a reason to want to splash blue. This is a looter that flips into an actual game ender. I think I want the disruption though. I've been burned too many times in the past of having a strong combo deck that dies to a single counterspell, like I said. Bloodchief Thirst is just a solid nuts and bolts removal spell. Sacred Foundry can be fetched by Bloodstained Mire on the splash. Feels awkward to go in on that on this currently mono black deck. Thought Picker Witch with my one creature deck, I don't think so. Bloodchief Thirst versus Sacred Foundry is pretty interesting here. I guess I could also hit the Sylvan Library on the splash. I've run out of time and ended up with Bloodchief Thirst, that's fine. Meathook Massacre. People do like... So there's like two popular archetypes in Cube, like ultra macro archetypes, which are aggro and control BS. And Meathook Massacre is great against the aggro half of the format. Not so great against combo. I mean, depending on what their payoff is. I think I'm taking the Meathook, though. Okay, we're back to this. Coma did wheel. This is something worth reanimating. Jadar. Beginning of your end step. If you control no creatures with Decayed, make a 2/2 zombie. Yeah, that's not really where I'm at. I'm going to take Coma. This is something worth putting into play. The Choop wheeled. We did not get our Nightmare back. The Choop is a nice mid-range black card that I also don't mind reanimating. Blood Crypt. Graveyard Trespasser is just like a solid body in the mid-range with some built-in graveyard hate, and a lot of Cube decks do care about the graveyard, versus being able to fetch a red source. Alright, I'll take the red source. Ooh, Elish Norn. Wheeled. Liliana is better in this mid-range deck. Elish Norn's a better payoff. I'm going to take Lily. I still believe there's more payoffs than there are. This we're just like last picking payoffs. Thought Picker Witch could end up in the deck, I guess. Shieldred the Apocalypse. MTGO even auto-selected it as the card that I'm probably going to take. Aversive Portal is very good. In this pack does not have a lot of heat in it for me. Sundering Titan's a cool thing to reanimate. Chrome Mox is powerful. It gets you going faster. I actually kind of hate Mox Diamond, but Chrome Mox is close to where I want to be with my life. I still think I'd rather just take Shouldred here. I wouldn't take Shouldred over an actual Mox, but the card disadvantage Mox is a tough beat. If Thoughtseize is the cheap interaction I'm interested in, JVP is a great card for my deck. I currently don't have any access to blue, but that's fine. I can fix that later. Simic Signet I like, Scarab God I like. Savai Triome is another thing that Bloodstained Mire can get. Just going with Thoughtseize though. Want to cause problems for people who are trying to slow me down. So Archon, one of the best things to bring back, and Exhume, one of the good ways to bring things back. Solid Fountain not fetchable with my fetch land. Balance is sick, but I'm nowhere near white. I'm going to take the Exhume here. Bolas's Citadel and Animate Dead. Godless Shrine can be fetched with Mire. I think it's just Animate Dead. I'm going to stake my claim on Reanimator right here in this pack. Gotta find some ways to get these off-color monsters into my graveyard. Currently, I'm just mind-twisting myself. Not exactly where I want to be. Risk the Hunger Tide is a way to technically put cards in your graveyard. Luris of the Dream Den. Am I doing anything with that? I can Thought Picker Witch. Sacking itself every turn. That's kind of mid. Luris is still really exciting though. Murderous Rider is a removal spell and a creature, both things that I like in this mid-range, like pseudo mid-range, pseudo combo black deck I have. I'm just going to take Luris, though. Give it the potential. Wheel of Fortune is a way to put cards in my graveyard, that's for sure. Parallax Wave, busted, but I'm not in that archetype. Dimir Signet gives me ramp and starts to touch into blue for me, which has a lot of good looting in it. It's between Bob and Signet for me. Bob plays well with Luris. I think I'm going with Signet, though. Gotta start thinking about what I'm gonna actually do this game. How are these creatures gonna get in the graveyard? Loyal Retainers is a reanimation spell. I can fetch white with Endotha Triome. My only legend I can reanimate is Coma. Or I have Children and Luris too if we're on the super value plan. Imperial Seal ties together my combo deck through the breach. There we go. I can fetch red basically for free, and this is a side juke to Reanimator that wants the same sort of payoffs. That's what I'm after. X-Mage, some off-color signets, and Boros Signet does cast through the breach. And any signet is mana ramp. Boros Signet also casts Luris. I don't really have a interest in X-Mage here. I don't want a Cabal Ritual. Alright, Sunny T on the wheel. Oh, Faithless Looting. I'm already like starting to be a red deck, and I've been talking about how I'm gonna get things in the graveyard, so Faithless Looting over Sundering Titan for sure. Iona and Savai Triome. This is another fetchable red source versus another big idiot. Do I need more big idiots? And is Iona better than a land that makes my two core colors? I think the answer is no to Iona. Escape to the Wilds, probably not casting that. Olga or Kogla is a big idiot. Revoker is just like a value creature that can cause trouble. I'm not confident in that pick. These are the top 4 cards of your library. You can play them. And Showdown is a card I can cast in my deck for sure. Opposition, Wheeling, and it's going to be someone's last pick. Disrespectful stuff. I'll take Karizev. Wow, Parallax Wave too. These are all cards I like a lot, but I got my Loyal Retainers. And the final pack is here. Underground Sea is fetchable by Bloodstained Mire. Force of Will, I'm nowhere near a blue cup. Think about that one. Future Imps and Enabler. Toxic Deluge is Interaction. Phantasmal Image is just a generically powerful card. What am I doing with blue mana? I have this Dimir Signet. And technically, if I take Underground Sea, I still can't cast Coma. Still only have 1 green source in the deck. Orzhov Signet is an on-color Signet, but I'd rather have Imp or Deluge than that. I think it's Imp. This pack has Ophiomancer, Vampiric Tutor in it. Another on-color Signet. Skullclamp goes well with various X1s and Luris. I'm looking at Ophiomancer. I'm not blue enough for a Sower of Temptation. Ophiomancer does a great job slowing things down. It's also a combo with Thoughtpicker Witch. I'll go with that. Liliana of the Veil and Dothy Voidwalker and Inkbull Leviathan and Ashen Rider. Emrakul doesn't really help my deck. It plays with Shadowgrave, but none of the other stuff. I think it's Liliana. It's a mid-range threat. That's also an interactive answer. That's also a Reanimator enabler. Sphinx of the Steel Wind, big creature to reanimate. Underworld Breach. I am red. I'm not like a great Breach deck, but Breach is still a lot of a Yawgmoth's Will. Like a pretty good impression of that. I don't have a fetchable blue source, or else I would strongly consider Muldrifter here. Sphinx is a hell of a payoff, though, and I currently have Coma and Avenger, and then I'm kind of fair mid-range. And I can cast this Sphinx with the mana I have. Alright, I'm going Sphinx. Oh, Grizzlebrand. After I took a medium reanimation target, I'm just shoving Grizzlebrand in my deck at this point. Night's Whisper is a card I would have liked, but when you're forcing Reanimator and you get a pack 3 Grizzlebrand, you take it. Dark Depths, regretting not taking the Vampire Hexmage. And Thespian Sage, not really. I mean, that's not great in my deck anyway. Blackcleave Cliffs is an on-color duel. Infernal Grasp is interaction. Sack a creature or discard a card. This is removal and a discard enabler if I need removal. If I need more discard enablers. I have Putrid Imp, Liliana, Faithless Looting. Probably don't need that. I'm going to take Infernal Grasp. I think my mana's already pretty good. Raids Arisen Nightmare. I love this card in EDH, and there's not really anything else for me in this pack. Alright, Braids is in. Hoof. I'm probably not a Hoof deck. Overgrown Tomb. Get me closer to casting Coma and Avenger. if we end up in that world. BoshNRoll, another mid-range black card, but I think I'm set on those. I'll just start taking mana. I wield my on-color Signet and Phantasmal Image. I want this Signet. Got Skull Clamp back around in my Luris deck with 1-drops. I think that's better than Vamp Tutor. Go ahead, roast me in the comments for that. Okay, got a giant reanimation target back and another mid-range black creature. I think I have enough to reanimate that I'm just going to take the hater with good stats. Blood Artist versus Terrasty Nasty. I'm not playing Blood Artist. I already have the Meathook Massacre. I'll take Terrastodon just in case that's the thing I want. Savannah is multiple splash pieces. I'm not doing that. I'm not playing any of these cards, but I'll just take the Temporary Lockdown. I think it's the best of those three. Never taking a Heartbreak of Spring in my life. If you see me draft a Heartbreak of Spring, all the authorities have been kidnapped. Now we gotta build this deck. I cut the random green cards. White cards are on notice. Terrastodon, I think, is my... Well, between Terrastodon and Avenger, I don't think I need both of these cards. An Avenger is not a very good thing to cheat out quickly, because it cares deeply about how many lands you have. So Avenger is the cut. And then Terrastodon's in the maybe pile. We have more things than fit on the screen. Did end up with Indoth the Triome and Overgrown Tomb, so Coma still not castable, even under perfect circumstances, because I only have one blue source, even though I do have 2 green sources in the deck. I think Showdown of the Scalds is a little more mid-range than I need to be. Whale Retainers, how free is this on the splash? I have 1 fetchable white source, and then I have 1 Signet that casts it. And payoffs for it are Grizzlebrand, Coma, Shouldred. I guess technically Braid's Luris. I could get a second round of those out of it. There are 5 lands currently in my deck. I would like 16 with 3 Signets. No Moxen. 4 open slots right now makes 9 lands, so I gotta cut 7 more cards here. Braids does go off with Ophiomancer. So I have this little, like, tricksy creature recursion sacrifice engine here with Ophiomancer, Luris, Braids, Thought Picker Witch. Skull Clamp is part of that. That goes off with Ophiomancer as well. Phyrexian Revoker is just a generically solid thing to do with 2 mana, but in this deck with 3 Signets and a Voidwalker, I don't know if I need Revoker in my main. If I see something scary, I can bring that in. But I have 3 discard spells, a bunch of removal. Alright, maybe Revoker's not where I want to be. Loyal Retainers on the splash is just not doing it for me. You gotta find your cut somewhere. Meathook Massacre might be a sideboard card. Like I said when I drafted it, there's folks who favor aggression in the cube, against whom Massacre is great. And then there are folks who like forcing combo or just 5-color journal piles. And Meathook Massacre is not great against those two. I'll bring that in if I need it, but right now I'm looking for cuts. Liliana of the Last Hope can minus to recur some creatures. She can minus to mill myself. I think that's less good than Liliana of the Veil. Thought Picker Witch is on my chopping block. I am pretty excited about this little package that found its way into the draft. That doesn't mean I have to play every piece of it, and I think Thought Picker Witch is the weakest among them. Air Signet is how I cast Sphinx of the Steel Wind, if that's ever going to happen. I'm not going to play like 1 basic island to cast Coma, so Coma is just uncastable in the deck. You have to accept that. If I add basics right now, that's 1 more here. That's 14 lands with 3 Signets. That's not quite enough. I don't feel good with that. This deck is basically mono black with Signets and fetch lands, dual lands, turning on the Breach Faithless Looting. And I'm not going to cast Faithless Looting quickly in this deck. I don't know how important that is. It should be in the deck. It's just, it might have to accept it's a turn 3 or 4 play in a lot of situations. I need Infernal Grasp. This is just a Doomblade in my deck that's full of cool things. I might be cutting Bread and Butter here in favor of Excitement. but I won't apologize for that. Okay, 15 lands, 3 signets with a bunch of 1-drops. It curves pretty low other than Custody Lich. Lich and Through the Breach are the 5s that I would like to cast in a game. Do have Skull Clamp in this deck. Do I try it with 15 lands? Do I try it with 15 lands is something someone says before getting mana screwed every game of the draft. Mind Twist also benefits from having mana kicking around. I don't have any Moxen or Dark Rituals to power that out faster. Maybe land number 16 is better than Signet number 3. Orzhov Signet is the weak one here. I'm not playing the Showdown or the Loyal Retainers, so I don't need white. Oro Signet actually is a splash color. Okay, 16 lands, 2 signets. Got a little mid-range fair engine, and we have a Reanimator theme. Okay, I'm going to try it like this. Let's go play some Magic. You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better. I'm on the draw in round 1, and even after making all those dedicated cuts for lands, I still have to mulligan a 1-lander here. This one's much better. I'm going to keep this, and I guess it's Sphinx. Yeah, Sphinx to the bottom. Uh-oh, basic planes. Gonna be very happy to Inquisition this opponent. Putrid Imp's dope, but I still want to Inquisition them first. Don't want to suddenly lose to a Thalia or some shit. Murder of the Guard, Gideon, of Abandon. Winds is an effective removal spell, but I'm trying to slow this game down. My hand is not exactly blazing here. I have to deal with the Gideon eventually. Oh, the Mother. Their Signet, get in. If Shieldred had been in my opening hand, I probably would not have. Alright, they drew Lauren. Lauren's very good, by the way, if anyone didn't know that. Luckily, Luris can replay that thing at some point. Alright, let's see if they want to spend a turn winsing my Putrid Imp, or if it's just coming down here. I think Gideon should just come down. But if they're scared of what I'm capable of, I would love to see this Putrid Imp beat shit. Oh. Made a Knight. Do they want to offer the trade with Lauren? They do. I'm going to accept this trade. I have nothing I want to discard right now, and I have Luris that can cast spells from my graveyard. Untapped land off the top would be sick here. I specifically said untapped deck. No respect at all. Okay, options include here playing Luris, letting it get wins, and then trying to get Shieldred to do the thing, or taking a whole turn off, just make a land drop. Next turn, Luris plus Putrid Imp. Putrid Imp even impact this board. Not meaningfully. Alright, I'm just going to run out the Luris. If they want to wins it, it ramps me. That gets me 2 Through the Breach. The next monster kills, and Shieldred holds the board in between. Really hate using a Luris like that, but it's what I got. Gotta hope they didn't draw another removal spell in the meantime. Luris has gone to the winds as we expected. He might. She might. Sorry, Luris. I believe Luris is canonically female. I have enough black to play this game. I'm going to grab my mountain just in case they're a wasteland deck. Gideon's getting in there. Oh, your own Luris. A wise guy. Ophiomancer. That card's cool. It's not better than Shieldred. Shieldred starts stabilizing the life total. It's not currently a castable card in their graveyard with Luris. They've got 2 cards in their hand. 1 card in their hand. Oh no. Elspeth Sun's Champion? No! They either drew the Elspeth or the land to cast it this turn. What a nightmare. Alright, we're dead. I could still draw Grizzlebrand, I guess. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Something that pays off Through the Breach could still help here. But That was an unfortunate run. Okay, we're against mono white. This is a match where my removal spells come back in. The removal spells I cheated on when I was looking for cuts in deck building. Beathook Massacre, Infernal Grasp, I'm interested in. We saw multiple Planeswalkers, Phyrexian Revoker has text, and 3 cuts. I like my big lifelink idiots. I like all my giant monsters. Keeping those. Raids, I'm probably not in a hurry to sacrifice any creatures. Shallow Grave is good for a quick blast of lifelink from 2 of my 3 payoffs. Also pretty good with Custodial Lich. Just make them sack a creature at instant speed. Shallow Grave is the worst of my Reanimators, though. Maybe I'm crazy, but I keep looking at this Faithless Looting. Like, are you helping me? And I guess with Luris, yeah, I don't want to like cut all the support out from under my deck. Maybe Phyrexian Revoker is a bridge too far, too cute, and I'll just let my busted deck do the work here. Okay, here is Basic Mountain and Faithless Looting in an opener. I'm going to keep this hand. Looting heard me talking about it and then decided to stay in my hand. Alongside the 1 way to cast it on turn 1. I appreciate you. I actually have 3 ways to cast it on turn 1. Being a little dramatic here. I'm gonna try to curve Voidwalker into Liliana, though. That's my interest this game. Looting, I'll cast that when I have things I don't want in my hand anymore. Like, looting is not a good deal on the surface. If you're not using the cards you discard, then looting sucks. It's like tapping Bazaar Baghdad. Draw 2, discard 3, because you lose the looting itself plus the 2 cards you discard to it. It's card disadvantage. And you don't just put Bazaar Baghdad in decks. You need a reason for that. And I currently don't have a reason to put any of the cards in my hand in the graveyard, so I'm not gonna Faithless Looting. And Voidwalker is just an exciting one because I can start putting things in the void. Right, please don't curve out on me. Disappointing. Not only curved out, but curved out with the card that makes it so I can't curve out. Okay, I suddenly have a reason to cast Faithless Looting. This Animate Dead. Alright, deck, help me out. Something good. These are not the good things I was looking for. Why didn't I make my land drop? Why didn't I think about the possibility of drawing a fetch land here? What's wrong with me? Okay, so Thoughtseize and Basic Swamp. The Bloodstained Mire only gets lands that hurt me. Okay, I think I'm off this Thoughtseize. That was a disappointing exchange. I have the Choop, though. Choop can kill a creature. If they kill Choop, I have Animate Dead for Choop. My hand is full of removal. It just will depend how hard they go over the top here. Do not level up their soldier. That means they have a spell. Guardian Girapur. This does what? Flicker something? Enters the battlefield. Exile to one other target creature or artifact you control. Return it at the beginning of its owner's next end step. Okay. So they're going to untap Thalia. Got it. Right under the Faithless Looting, you sack of crap. I could flashback looting. I can also Chupacabra this turn and set up a Liliana plus Animate situation sometime in the future. I can also Chup this Guardian into the Void and then flicker my Chup. Enters the battlefield. Exile 1 target creature artifact you control. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control to the next end step. Yeah, I think this is better than a creature that doesn't attack or block on the board. Let's cast this thing. Flicker the Choop and kill Thalia. If I kill Thalia, that gives me a chance to draw an untapped land and put Grizzlebrand into play next turn. And if they spend their mana leveling this thing up, it gives it first strike. I'm not excited to trade with that. It's not a trade. I would have been excited to trade with that, but I don't want to jump block it. But I also have Animate Dead in my hand. I could jump, Reanimate, kill. But I want Grizzlebrand, not a Chupacabra. I also don't mind taking this slow. If I don't draw the land, I can Liliana minus, keep this board clear next turn, plus discard Grizzle, Reanimate Grizzle. Sort of Fire and Ice, don't care. They did not level up their student. And they could have. I have some concerns about that. Let's just kill it. I'm playing around Mana Tithe. Sacrifice a creature, please, opponent. Attack with my 5. I could shove this Skull Clamp into Mana Tithe here, or I could just pass the turn and have all my cards. I'm going to do that. Okay, no haste creature, please. I don't even know if Mana Tithe is in the cube. I assume it is. That's a cool card for vintage cube style decks. Okay, they just didn't do anything. I'm going to plus Liliana to soften up their hand. Start there. I'm discarding Grizzlebrand no matter what. And they discarded Gideon Ally, a card they could have cast. Don't actually know what 5-mana instants are in the cube. Avacyn in this cube. Just put Grizzlebrand into play and not worry about it that much. Oh, got me good. Alright, Containment Priest is in the cube. We've just learned. And I can't decline Animate Dead, so Grizzlebrand's in exile now. Skull Clamp. And I'm going to put this on my Chupacabra. And we've seen exile-based removal. I'm just going to pass here. I can get control of this game with Liliana next turn. If they attack, I can block and draw a bunch of cards. Parallax Wave, or I can just die to Parallax Wave, which is also a combo with Containment Priest, for the record. And it's a combo with me having control of your creature. If I draw the land, Custodial Lich can still take over this game, but remember when Parallax Wave went last in our draft and I was like, this card's busted? This is what I'm talking about. Kind of hate to shove Dimir Signet into the deck we know has Loren in it, but this cast Custodial Lich next turn, and they are going to get a sort of Fire and Ice trigger in between if they want it. Why wouldn't you want it? That Containment Priest was such a blowout. Don't play another creature, please. Hate you so much. They played a creature that they're happy to sacrifice that's going to tutor another relevant creature of some sort. Also, Parallax Wave still in the mix here to just remove Custodial Lich so you don't even get a block. Straight up Mother of Runes. Beat Hookmasker off the top. Zoom doesn't help. I literally can't even play Custodial with Lich because I would immediately lose the Monarch, and then they're beating me with this sword and the Monarch. God. This went to shit so quickly. I thought we were doing well. I'm going to flashback Faithless Looting and try to find a removal spell while I still can. Putrid Imp is not going to be able to block. I hate my life. Yeah, I'm going to have Threshold, so this thing can't block. I can't cast Exhume because this priest is still in play. Nightmare. Putrid Imp, get in. Pick up Skull Clamp. Get exiled by Parallax Wave immediately. They have me at 3 on board. If they attack with Mother, I'm at 2. Seal from Existence. Okay. Should probably exile Skull Clamp. Yeah, not my Putrid Imp. They don't care about that. That's dead anyway if they want it dead. Drawing Meat Hookmasker is not even good enough anymore, because that only kills 2 of these things, and the lethal one is still on board. Would you believe there was a turn of that game where I thought for sure we couldn't lose? They turned it around quick. That Containment Priest into Parallax Wave 1-2 punch was just super messed up. On to the next one. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. I'm on the draw in round 2 with a hand with a 5-mana big play. I am going to keep this. I have lands to cast my spells, and my spells are powerful. This is a hand that would love to draw Faithless Looting right now. Are we against another mono white player? Boring. So if I Triumph, that's cool. Wasn't playing a spell this turn anyway. Light and Tutor, oh no. Phyrexian Revoker, okay. Oh no. Or a strip mine deck. Okay. And that's fine. Whatever. Oh, hello. Did just win the game. This is why you keep these speculative hands. It has Rashad in port, and they play Revoker. Okay, so they're gonna name Grizzlebrand. If I discard Grizzlebrand, I might as well just discard both these cards though. Or I don't have to discard discard again if they're gonna name Grizzlebrand now. Like if I just discard Sphinx, they still name Putrid Imp. And this is the bigger lifelink creature. But one of them does not get Caracas. Oh, I can just have both over multiple turns. Okay. Vigilance matters a lot. If they're mono white and have an exile-based removal spell, doesn't matter that much. I'm going to go with Sphinx first. I think I like the Vigilance here. Zoom, while they still don't have a creature in their graveyard. Alright, cool. Reanimator stuff. Only saw white cards, but we only saw 2 lands out of them. Strip Mine, Rashad and Port, Phyrexian Revoker, they seem like kind of a controlling version of white. Liana the Last Hope, Meathook Massacre, Infernal Grasp, all cards I'm interested in. This should look familiar. Last time I cut Shallow Grave does appear to be the worst of them. When am I spending mana on Mind Twist against this Mana Denial mono white deck? Maybe that's just not right for this, even though it is an objectively insane card. And Breeds. This is what I'm doing. I do also have a Signet in my graveyard. If there is a game 3 and we see Armageddons, Signet is a reasonable place to be. I really don't want to keep this one lander. It does do a lot on 2 mana, but it also needs to draw 3 more lands before it's really doing anything. That's what I'm in for. Keep it and bottom. I just said Signets might be good, but I have Faithless Looting with something I'm happy to discard. But I hope I don't get strip mined again. Childred Mother. Wasteland, cool. They have all of them. They have every single possible piece. Got the Triome. That one doesn't cast Faithless Looting. But it is a land. Happy to see any land drop here. Alia too. Alright, yeah, they've got the whole old school Death and Taxes build. And I can't currently cast a spell. Meathook Massacre is exciting. So is Shieldred. Them immediately dumping into Student of Warfare kind of concerning to me. Remember when I bought him that Signet? I would love a Signet right now. Inquisition U. March, Relic Order, Adeline, Robber, Tithe Taker. I don't think I'm going to be trying to take any Tithes. Adeline kills me on the spot if they draw it. Or draw the land for it. Yeah, Adeline's got to go. Call. Let's see if they play out Relic Order just for damage on the board. Or right, Tithe Taker's in their hand too. Obviously they're going to do that. Okay, deck. Land. Untapped land. Oh, it's even that one. I think Meathook Massacre for 1 is better here than Faithless Looting. This kills 2 creatures, including Thalia, gains me 2 life. They're all things I'm interested in. They get the 1/1 off Afterlife, but that's okay. Thalia's gone. If they want to spend Relic Order on Meathook Massacre, it did its job already. That's a Relic Order that's not going to exile Animate Dead. Drawing an untapped land would be sick, because then I can play Shieldred and immediately Faithless Looting and gain 4. Go a long way. Oh yeah. Give it to me. Shieldred, immediately gain 4. I have 2 easy discards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pretty close to casting Grizzlebrand, actually. But I don't think that's where this game's going. I'll just make the graveyard value very obvious. Okay, they are pitching cards to kill Shieldred. That doesn't work. Need the white mana to start it. Okay. Yet they briefly exiled Showdown of the Scalds, which is not how March of Otherworldly Light works. Uh-oh, that's bad. That turns on that Showdown of the Scalds. They just couldn't exile. Oh, they don't have a dual land. Cool. There's the Showdown. It's in exile. Aldred was good for a 6-life swing. I'm still behind here, but I can flash back Faithless Looting, looking for a way to get this Grizzlebrand into play, and then we're rocking out. Student of Warfare is going to be a double striker next turn. Don't have a lot of time here. Liana. Interesting. I'm just going to start with Faithless Looting. I'm not going to play out the Signet. I dead to this next turn. 4/4 double strike at 9. I sure am. I'm dead to basically everything here. Putrid Imp can block. I discard Signet and Swamp. What happens there? I play Putrid Imp. I chump block the double striker. Take 3. And then I get another turn to draw cards. Guess that's what I'm doing. Okay. And then Luris can cast Putrid Imp to chump block every turn, as long as I don't have Threshold. That'll buy me time. It's just a removal spell. Just get +1/+1. It's not a removal spell. It is an Anthem. I have less life than I thought I did. What just happened? Did they misclick? Okay. I think they misclicked. And they don't have the Anthem. That's good news for me. I'll take it. I could block Relic Warder and discard a card and get myself Threshold and get an actual trade here. I would lose Liliana. Don't think she's worth losing. Does Meathook Massacre matter on this board? The life gain's not irrelevant. I'm not discarding Luris. Okay. Just gonna chump as planned. Try to tread water here for a little while. How long this lasts. Gotta find a reanimate spell, and we did it. They have Thalia, Adeline, and Tithe Taker. Adeline's pretty messed up. I can Liliana and Exhume. Does Adeline beat Grizzlebrand? I don't think so. I guess I have to Liliana first, because if they just randomly choose Thalia for no reason, that's bad. Liliana and Exhume. Got Grizzlebrand. Got Adeline. Gonna kill the 3/1 lifelink. And I have not done the math. I'm just gonna hope Grizzlebrand beats this board, though I'm not convinced that it does. Stripmine doesn't matter. Student is now double strike mode. Time for math. They are attacking me with everything. If I block Adeline, I go to 2 off the first damage. Then I go to 9. Then I take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that true? Am I at 1? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That appears to be true. And I don't lose Grizzlebrand in combat this way. Okay. I hope I did this right. I think I'm at 1. Sick. I'm at 1. Adeline's gone. Liliana's active. I can Luris and play a blocker now. Robber of the Rich is in their hand. That is a haste creature I have to think about at least a little bit. Minusing Liliana doesn't make any sense. I'm going to plus her and get rid of Spirit Token. Luris. Oh, Putrid Imp can't block. Even when I cast Putrid Imp, I have too many cards in my graveyard. Luris can block. If I go to 8, I think I'm just going to hold back for a turn. Because if they make a big attack with everything... They found Robber. This is a haste creature. They're hellbent now, though. Now, important decisions. If I block Relic Order with Grizzlebrand and chump with Luris, I don't gain Luris life here. But I get to keep my Grizzlebrand, and then Meathook Massacre is back, and I can start gaining life off that. Yeah, this is what I wanted. Student doesn't trample. Robber of the Rich doesn't first strike. Like my Meathook back. This gains me some life. Just get -0 until end of turn. And Lily can just minus Luris back anyway. Alright, yeah. I'm happy with that exchange, and opponent is unhappy with that exchange. Okay, we lost to one white aggro deck. We beat another white aggro deck. On to the finals. We'll see what happens against the next white aggro deck. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structure tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe. I get to be on the play for the final round with a pretty exciting hand. Thoughtseize, some interaction, Mind Twist at some point. I'm keeping this. Now the question is, do I treat this like limited and play my tap land first and invest in the future? Or do I treat it like broken vintage cube / constructed and Thoughtseize first to make sure I don't die? I think I want a Thoughtseize first, but Thoughtseize is also an enabler for me. Oh, speaking of enablers for me, how about I just kill you with your own Ulamog starting on turn 2? How do we feel about that one? If Fastbond Wasteland, Dam doesn't kill Ulamog, Fastbond can play the Wasteland. Fortunately, I have to play into Wasteland here, but fortunately, I'm going to try to kill them with Ulamog. Hope they don't draw something worth channeling here. All in. Here's the Wasteland. Getting a turn. I'm going to go to combat and exile 20 cards out of their deck. They want to concede to this information, or do they just want to show me their whole deck? All right, cool. I'll take a look at it since you came to show it to me. Place of Triome, and I'm going to Mind Twist for 1. Like, any little poke could matter here. They're dead next turn. What am I investing in? Just hit a Vampire Hexmage, a card I did not know about. Tap Zagoth Triome. I know 3 other 4 cards. All right, so what did we see here? Mox Emerald, Regrowth, Oracle of Moldiah, Meathook Massacre, Espion Stage, Reclaimer, Wayfinder, Augur of Autumn, Fatal Push, Vamp Tutor, Remnant Excavator, Crucible of Worlds. They are like green-black depths, is what it looks like. Phyrexian Revoker does say non-land card. This is not Pithing Needle. Terastodon destroying their various land cards could be a pivot I'm interested in. Pretty sure Coma beats Mirror Age anyway. Tap target permanent can't be activated. Yeah. Coma is the same as Terastodon here, I think. Or at least close enough. What I'm most worried about is just getting schmurdered by an Eldrazi, because they have Mox Emerald Channel Fastbond, and at least 1 Eldrazi in the deck. The discard spells help with that. I don't play counter spells. Thought Picker Witch could manipulate their top decks in the late game. I don't know if I want to play to a late game, but I don't know that I really have the option. It could turn Braids into Thought Picker Witch, because this might be a matchup where they can match my Reanimator power level. Just being able to stop them from doing that for a turn could matter. Yeah, Braids is not a forced sacrifice ever. They can always just choose to lose to life and give me a card. So it's not like I can Edict an Ulamog. Infernal Grass doesn't kill Ulamog. It does kill Elvish Reclaimer, though. I'm off it. I'm going to try to kill them with their own Eldrazi again. Okay, this hand is not exactly blazing fast. Dothy Voidwalker, I have some interest in. Like, if I just get shithoused by channel, I get shithoused by channel. And that's just going to happen. Satyr Wayfinder. They milled over Vamp Tutor, and then they get to pick one of these basic lands to keep. Up their Swamp. Interesting. Multiple signets in the mix here. It's the Swamp. And there's Remnant of Excavator. I did keep Dothy Voidwalker knowing that they have some graveyard synergy in their deck, but Mox Emerald and being on the play made that a lot worse for me. I'm still going to play Voidwalker, though. If they dare to mill over anything else, or if they're sandbagging a strip mine, I don't want to get in the Remnant squeeze here. And I can exhume my Dothy if I care about it. Oh, Mind Twist. Interesting. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Dimir Signet. Then I'm going to exhume my Dothy Voidwalker. And then I'm going to try to Mind Twist something fucked up out of their hand next turn, and then cast it out of the void. Moment of Truth. Oh, Maelstrom Pulse. They know what's going on. They see the line. Thoughtseize. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, their whole hand is gone anyway. I'm not going to cast Thoughtseize here. Unfortunately, Raminap does do a lot of work making Mind Twist less good. Any lands they discard are just free money, but losing your whole hand. They did have the Ulamog. They were correct to fight over this thing. 3 lands though, jeez. It's like I cast Thoughtseize. One of them's Horizon Canopy. Reanimator Excavator is a demon. Can I get my whole hand empty this turn? Play Signet. Thoughtseize you. Please don't be 2 lands. Alright, Infernal Grasp is gone. Did I sequence this wrong, or was it just not there? If I tap for black, make blue flag. Yeah, this Signet doesn't cast Liliana here without taking damage. So I guess I'll take some damage. Plus us both to Hellbent and hope for the best, because I'm at 3 on board. That was close. I almost Ulamog them with their own Ulamog twice. They needed 2 removal spells to survive it. They're attacking me. That's the correct choice. Got the Triome. Not really what I want here. Gonna cycle, leaving off all my black. I love our removal spell. Hey, I have a removal spell. Ravenous Choop, get in. Take out the Raminap. I'm gonna plus Liliana rather than minus. If this Satyr Wayfinder kills me, got me, but they have a lot of scary cards in their deck that I would like to remove from their hand. Okay. Tenuous Stability. Let's say Meyer. Okay. 1 card left in their hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Disappointing. Alright. Plus Liliana. They lost Channel. I lost Sphinx. But Sphinx almost better in the graveyard than it is in my hand. Sucks that I'm 1 land away from casting that. But they're in the Liliana squeeze. We're both Hellbent. They have to draw out of this because I'm winning on the board. Yeah, they're just making land drops. Reanimation spell's a banger. Reanimation spell's a banger. Protection from red and green. Okay, I can animate at this. Do I think that Ulamoging them into crap is better than gaining life in the spot? Yes, they have 19 cards in their deck. Ulamog is one-shot lethal. I'll take that, please. And I could ultimate Liliana here. I think this is where I want to go, actually. Because they're dead on board. All I have to do is survive this draw step. You can have green mana or you can have black mana. That's the choice I'm putting to you. And they just scooped it to the ultimate. A 2-1 record. We got our money back. This was the deck that did it. Last cube season, I think I did 4 cubes, and I put up a lot of 0 and 1 win cubes. This is not in my normal skill set, but like I said at the start, I believe I'm getting a hang of this thing. At the end of last season, I kind of tilted off and just fired off a draft that nobody asked me to do, just because I wanted to finish one with more than 1 win, and we've already matched that for this season. Just good interaction, a powerful mid-range value plan, and then we have this top-end BS that can show up late or it can show up early. This deck is coherent. It does powerful things. It does powerful things on multiple axes using Through the Breach or graveyard stuff. Either way, we're pretty happy with the monster coming into play. Trophy blocked by Savage, Containment Priest into Parallax Wave run, and in game 1, that opponent also used the last 2 cards in their hand to go land 6 mana Elspeth, and they drew one of those 2 things that turn. We were a whisper away from a trophy this league. We can't count it, obviously, we got beat. But as far as learning about Cube, the Shallow Grave, I wasn't that impressed with. Maybe either Liliana or Meathook Massacre should just be in the main. As much as I love Signets, they weren't that important to this deck because this deck can win the game on 2 mana, and I have a nice clean curve anyway. It's not like I'm trying to jump like Counterspell into Teferi, Hero of Dominaria or anything. Like, it's not that kind of deck. I do like the Boros Signet giving me both ramp and access to a splash color on 1 card. That I have no regrets about. Dimir Signet lets me cast Sphinx of the Steel Wind sometimes. The fact that these touched on relevant splash colors and weren't just ramp, and I'm kind of proud of myself for cutting the Orzhov Signet. I think I found the pocket on Signets there. Braids maybe could have been something else, like Infernal Grasp, Liliana. I think that between Infernal Grasp, Liliana, and Meathook Massacre, 2 of these cards should have been in the main deck over definitely Shallow Grave and probably Braids. But I was very tempted by this Ophiomancer engine with Braids, Slot Picker Witch, and Skull Clamp, none of which actually came together at any point in our games. But this was a solid draft, off to a good start this season. Maybe we'll trophy the next one. I hope so. I'm only doing 2 of these. That's all that's on my slate right now. And come back next week for the thrilling conclusion of this run of Vintage Cube. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon and all the sponsors that keep the channel going. And I'll see you next time.